Lowe's 2618, customer Pettit. This is a large barn dominium home, and as you can see, we're at the framing stage. There's a lot of electrical that's already been done. Some of the plumbing has been done, but we are not complete. Now, one of the things we talked about today was the molding, specifically the moldings around the windows and doors. We talked about doing a 3.5 inch molding here at the windows. Of course, the windows are not installed, so I'm giving you the center lines of the windows that we're working off of to work off of the drawing. Also, I'm giving you some specific measurements between the door trim and the window trim that isn't here yet. I've accommodated some space in there, but mostly the drawing numbers that I'm giving you are what you need to use for the design, so that we have plenty of margin around the cabinets. As you can see, we've got concrete floors, so we've got our drains and stuff coming up out of the concrete right under the window, but they are to the left of center. So this sink base in this design, if you look, 18 inches is going to barely catch those plumbing parts. Those plumbing parts are actually to the left of the window, almost to the end. It's almost 20 inches to the left of the window. So when you design this, your sink base is going to have to be a 42. It's going to have to be at least a 42 inch sink base to catch the drain and the two hot and cold, to make sure that we are on center of the window with our sink. Now, if the customer does not care about being center of the window, then you can offset it, but I would not say that you need to do that. I would say it needs to be center of the window. That's common, so we definitely want to make sure we accommodate that. But again, this is a major deal. Center of the window here. These pipes are about 18 inches to the left of center. So a standard 36 inch sink base will not fit there. It's got to be a 42 inch sink base minimum to capture the edge of these pipes and keep your sink on the center of the window. Now, let's go over here and take a look at the microwave area on the right. No problem, they've pulled a wire for that. It's down here low for the microwave, so it is in the middle of the cabinet. Something else about this is a return wall here, but if you look at the return wall depth right here, that return wall to the door opening is 24 inches. So our cabinet is 24 inches. So this doorway that you've got here is 32 already, which is basically standard. It's going to be a 30 inch door or return opening. Something's got to happen with the actual frame in here, because we are less than what our cabinet. Either that or this microwave cabinet is going to have to be built at 21 inches deep, less depth than the cabinets to the left of them. Again, talk to the customer about what they want to do here as far as the framing, because that is not standard to the door opening. Sheetrock, they're going to be doing sheetrock inside the house, so no problem there. All of the receptacles were hung below that mark, which put them too low. He went through and moved them all up to the next mark up. But here on the cooktop wall, a couple other things. These are vaulted ceilings at 120 inches, okay? So they vault to the middle of the room, as you can see. They're going to be putting a decorative hood here. There is no place for the top of that chimney to terminate against the ceiling. So when we look at this spacing that you've got here, you're going to have some type of a soffit built into the ceiling above this for that to actually terminate into that soffit, something flat at 120 inches. Now, what will come out of the box will be a chimney that's for an 8-foot ceiling, okay? You can buy an extension kit, but I don't know if you can buy one up to 10 feet. You're going to have to check with the manufacturer. If the manufacturer does not sell a 10-foot extension for that decorative hood, you're going to need to come in here and build a soffit that hangs down, angled to the ceiling, and hangs down from the ceiling to create some kind of a flat spot for that chimney pipe to go into the bottom of it. Now, right here on the floor, I put a little note that says center line of hood, okay? That center line of that hood means that that's the center line of where your ductwork for outside needs to go, or that also means that's the center line of where the soffit needs to be built above this as to plan. Now, again, this is all as to plan, not something that I have, as far as changes. Now, we moved a couple of boxes around, but there was a pantry going here in the drawing, so we omitted one of the electrical boxes that was here for the pantry. The other thing was this gas fitting, way too low. The gas fitting is actually going to have to be brought up somewhere around the 10-12 inch mark off the floor. That is actually under the cabinet right now. The cabinet's 6 inches off the floor, so that's under the cabinet. It's got to be brought up to make it fit right. This is the 110 volt for the cooktop. There wasn't one here. It was wrote on the stud here, but there was no box for 110 volts for the igniters, so he went ahead and put a 110 volt plug there for that. Now, even though you see the center of this pot filler here and the center of the gas, the center of this hood is the center of the cooktop in this design. So the pot filler is slightly to the right. You don't want your pot filler dead center behind it anyway, because that's an issue as far as being able to reach all the eyes. It needs to be on one side anyway. Now, as far as the cabinets go, we moved this outlet over because it was actually going to put it more under the cabinet. And then also I told him we needed to move the oven wire. It was here. Need to move it here, double oven, home run, 4 foot of wire hanging out of the wall, because the center line of the oven, about 114.5 inches to that right-hand side. All right. Okay, keep on going here with the island. This is a conduit coming out of the concrete. It is 125 inches to the sink wall. It is 100 inches to the side wall where the refrigerator is. So we got to make sure this conduit makes it inside of a cabinet. In 2020, when you design this, put this at -5 inches up and down, which will put it under the floor, and you'll be able to see where it's at and also be able to place your cabinets on the floor here. So again, just make you a tall obstacle, make it 1 inch by 1 inch by 20 inches tall or whatever, or I'm sorry, 2 inches tall, and then place it at -5 inches up and down, and that will put it under the floor for them to be able to place cabinets on top of it. Now, over here on the refrigerator side, no problem. Plenty of room for 40 inches of fridge. You do have switches here, a 4-gang switch box, so it's going to come to the right of that, but the plugs for the and the actual water line are all perfect for that, no problem. Let's go and take a look at the Jack and Jill bath. This one's going to be really a redraw on this one. This one's wall-to-wall, 98.5 inches, I believe it was. But if you'll take a look at the plumbing, you got a drain way over here on the left, hot and cold, drain on the middle, hot and cold. So you're going to have to relay this out to where you have doors, and drawers in the middle. That's the only way this is going to work as far as matching up to your cabinet boxes, is to have a sink base to the left, sink base to the right, and then 2 sets of drawers in the middle, or 1 wide set of drawers in the center. Over here in the master bath, that one worked out fine to plan. Master bath had, I think it was 75 inches of cabinet. The center lines of your hot and your colds are marked on the drawings, but when it comes down to placement, the drawers in the middle is fine for this one. Again, it's hot, cold, drain. Then I give you a measurement from the left over to drain, hot, cold. So all of this is on the drawing as far as measurements. 75 inches comes out to just after that receptacle there on the wall, so you should be good as far as length goes. But again, double check your drain placements and your pipe placements to make sure that's going to work. Let's go take a look in the laundry.
What's up, Bubba?
Okay, here on the far side of the laundry area, we've got the window. The window is not cased, as you can see. It doesn't have the finished moldings, but again, we're looking at like a 3.5 inch molding. If you look at height off the floor, that's 2 foot is where the bottom of the cabinet comes, or the window comes in. That's about 21 with the moldings. So your 17, 18 inch pedestals is just fine. But on width, there's a lot of plumbing. It's over here on the right hand side. From the window edge, that plumbing is right at 28 inches from the edge of the window trim, okay? So we're looking at doing a 24-inch pantry here. The customer is going to go ahead and have the electrical brought inside of the pantry, just cased off with a plug. On the bottom, we need to change these to 30-inch pedestal bases, and then again a 24 over here. That works just fine. Now, in your drawing for the washer and dryer, there is a right-hand wall, as you can see here. So the 33 and the 33 is fine, but we need a 1-inch filler and a 1-inch filler against the right-hand wall. 3/4 inch panel. The customer is going to be building a pedestal. That pedestal is going to be 58 inches frame width by 65 and a quarter to the center of the pedestal from the right hand side. Now, this would be easier if it was actually going to be like appliance pedestals, but it's actually going to be, customer's going to build this and 18 inches tall and actually wrap it in sheetrock. So he had to move his electrical and plumbing up for his air dry on the dryer, air vent for the dryer. So the other thing I want to notice here, look at all of these pipes in this wall. Definitely be careful here as far as like any type of penetrations with nails or screws. Now, down here on the floor, on the end, 33 inches, that last cabinet comes to just about center of that box. He said it was okay. Instead of just moving it, the cabinets will be fine. Just a little bit center of that box is where that's going to come to on the cabinet length. Overhead, this ceiling in this room is 120 inches, same as the others, so no problems on it. If you have any questions about this, feel free to give me a call at 423-650-1051. Have a good day.